Hey guys, we have some lovely energy coming at us this weekend. It should be a really beautiful weekend, kind of across the board. We've got dual Jupiter aspects playing out this weekend, Mercury and Venus, both aspecting Jupiter. The conversations are likely to go well. If you got to ask somebody for a favor, you guys, this is the weekend you want to do it. People are generally going to be in the giving spirit, positive attitudes, open minds, just feeling good and celebratory about life generally, like optimism and hope and faith sort of running the show this weekend. People really on top of their game, feeling larger than life, and just a bunch of positive vibes coming through. The one thing that we do need to watch out for in all of this Jupiter energy is a tendency towards extreme excess regarding anything. Okay, we don't want to overdo it this weekend, overspend, overeat, overspeak, overstep, overinvest, overcommit. We do have a Mercury retrograde coming up next week, and there's going to be reconsiderations going on, especially in regards to maybe some things that we are getting involved in this weekend. But overall, gains coming through, very positive in terms of the conversations and the investments and the negotiations and the partnerships and the relationship dynamics of things. Lots of positive, good energy for us this weekend. Also, lots of healing energy. We've got a lot of Chiron influence going on as well that we're going to talk about. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's talk about this energy and all the details, how things are coming together for us, and what they might look like as we move through our weekend. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, December 8th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. In this video, we're talking about the energy today, Friday through Sunday, the 10th. What do we have going on, and how is it impacting us in terms of our transition into the age of Aquarius? It should honestly, like I was saying in my intro, be sort of like an exceptionally good weekend. Something very positive, uplifting, special, good surprises, good news, just sort of feeling maybe inspired by something. This is also a very, very, very creative energy, you guys. This is the best of the best of the best energy for, having some type of like very inspired idea or flash of insight, or something that helps like the projects that we're working on, or a creative impulse coming through that we're sort of harnessing, that's like inspiring us to do something that creates some type of positive, productive outcome or successful result for us. Gains are all over the charts in the energy of this weekend. We have a huge Jupiter presence this weekend in aspect to two of our primary personal planets, both Mercury, the mind, the messenger planet, and also Venus, our likes, our desires, our preferences, relationships, love, money, both an aspect to Jupiter. And not only are they an aspect to Jupiter, they're both an exact aspect to Jupiter this weekend, basically, simultaneously, sort of at the same time. And Jupiter expands things. Jupiter is the great benefic. Jupiter brings good luck and good fortune, but Jupiter also is about excess, and it inflates things. So there's also likely to be like a dimension or a layer maybe of some type of inflated value, where things just being like overdone or over the top or like over communicated somehow, that may have us reconsidering, reevaluating maybe some things that we involved ourselves with, or that we had going on this week as we move into the energy of next week, because Mercury will be going retrograde in a trine to Jupiter as well. We're going to be rethinking, reconsidering, reprioritizing maybe some of the stuff that was very like in our face or overblown, or just made a big impact on us somehow this week. But even like that being said, you guys, this is great energy. Even the adjustments that we will have to make will be like a positive adaptation somehow, that like still results in some type of productive, successful outcome, achieving what we want, achieving a desire somehow. But I do want to state, opening this report, we want to be very careful not to be overdoing things like above and beyond, biting off way more than we can chew, way overcommitting ourselves this weekend as well. Like, if you do need to ask for a favor, if you need to ask for help with something, this is the weekend that you want to do it. People are likely to just be very much in like the holiday spirit, very generous, very like giving vibes, people wanting to go sort of like above and beyond. Remember, we also had on Wednesday Neptune stationed direct in the sky as well. And Neptune is also, you know, in its higher octaves, a very like compassionate, empathetic, like giving, open-hearted type of energy. So there will be a large segment of the population that is coming from this very like expansive, open-hearted, giving, gregarious, generous, joyful, jovial, enthusiastic, optimistic, just, you know, spilling out energy this weekend. So it's a good weekend to ask for a favor if you need a favor. It's also a good weekend to offer help or assistance if you have some of that to offer. What we give, I do feel like in this energy, we will also receive back tenfold just because of the way that Jupiter is functioning right now. So, you know, also if you do find yourself at a point this weekend where you're like, you know, good things aren't happening to me for some reason, like this is supposed to be a great weekend, but you know, it doesn't feel that way for me. The way to activate this energy in, you know, that case might be to give something of yourself or to be of service somehow. And I'm telling you, like, if you get into even the flow that way, it will like kick that energy in and you will also receive really good stuff, because this is just, it's just the way that the energy is functioning. It's bringing good stuff and it's bringing a lot of it, to the point that we do need to practice a little bit of self-restraint. And it is beneficial that Venus, while she comes into her opposition with Jupiter this weekend, which we will be talking about, will still be in a loose, but we can still call it trine to Saturn. So, you know, we do have an ability to kind of like restrain ourselves to some extent in the pursuit of our desires, but people are really just going to be feeling good, I feel like, and kind of having the inspiration and the confidence and the belief and the faith to go after what they want, and it's going to be good outcomes and good results this weekend. Like I said, very holiday spirit vibes. People are likely to be out and about, shopping, enjoying life, wining and dining. Also, things to do with tradition or the past could be a thing on Friday, even maybe like in terms of forgiveness. The moon in Libra will conjunct the South Node in the energy on Friday, which could indicate, you know, past relevance like nostalgia, memories, tradition, or like I said, also maybe even forgiveness in some capacity, or release emotionally, maybe from something that we had been holding on to that's no longer suiting us or benefiting us, maybe as a result of some type of like good idea or positive connection or something that comes in. Big news, you guys. This rest of this month of December, like, this is the vibe. This is the theme. If you guys watched my December overview, I was talking about how this is a very Jupiterian month. We have Jupiter and Mercury in a trine basically all month long, because Jupiter is about to station direct at the end of the month. So Jupiter is slowing down and Mercury is stationing retrograde on the 12th. So Mercury is also slowing down. And the places where they just happen to be slowing down are in the early degrees of Earth signs in a trine together. So with Jupiter and Mercury in a trine together all month long, this is going to open our minds somehow. This is going to bring revelations and insight. It's going to clear things up for us, help us to see like a bird's eye view or a higher perspective somehow. Again, Mercury is the messenger planet, so big news is likely to be just a feature of the entire month generally. Also like larger than life conversations or interactions or meetings or experiences happening. But this weekend is a pretty significant epicenter for that type of thing as well. There could just be some very, like I said, like special feeling stuff, especially to do with other people or conversations, what we're learning, what we're talking about, who we're talking with, and, you know, just what we're engaged in throughout the course of the weekend. People are likely to be very generous, like I said, very open-hearted, and with all the Sagittarius, Jupiter energy, because think about this, okay? This is what we're looking at this weekend. We have right now both the Sun and Mars ruling our energy in the sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So both, you know, the way that our energy is functioning right now is in alignment with this expansive truth-seeking, just like joy and celebration and optimism, hope, like the Sagittarius vibes, okay? Truth, expansion, freedom. And then we're talking about also Mercury in a trine to Jupiter. That's the messenger planet in the mind, forming the trine, the facilitating, the assisting, the thing falling into place. This is like universe promoting the growth of the mind, universe promoting the growth of the conversation, universe also, you know, it's not just growth, it's also good fortune and blessings and wisdom and truth and expansion. So expanding the mind, like good news, fortunate news, like a lucky bit of information coming through that can lead to some type of good fortune. Or Mercury is also like about like short distance travel, like being in the right place at the right time, just generally good timing with things. And also Venus ruling relationships, love, money, coming into an opposition exactly with Jupiter this weekend as well. Jupiter being in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. This is going to bring, this is going to expand and really highlight our desires, our preferences, what we have a taste for, you know, what we like. This is also, you know, with Jupiter in the sign of Taurus opposite Venus, this is energy where you're really probably going to want to watch like overindulging, overeating, over drinking and stuff like that, like getting into some like really rich and delicious, you know, food and drink that can just make us, you know, feel a little bit inflated after the fact. Very prime time Jupiter Venus energy, especially with Jupiter and Venus's sign coming into the opposition with Venus. But also like this is very like shopping oriented energy. You know, we're gonna want to be careful with like spending too much money and stuff like that. And it's also really blowing up the value of things. That's another thing, like I was saying, there's something about like inflating the value. Like everything is probably going to look a bit better than it might actually be in the energy this weekend. So we just want to be careful about, you know, biting off a little bit more than we can chew. This is though very good. Think about it. Mercury, this is like transactions and negotiations, and Venus is like agreements and deals and partnerships. Agreements, deals, investments, partnerships, business related stuff that happens in the energy this weekend, even though we have the strong Neptunian influence, is likely to be very profitable, very successful, very abundant, but it will likely also have to go through some type of revision and some type of way to like make up for maybe some type of preliminarily inflated value somehow. But even like by the end of the month, Jupiter stations direct, and we have this very strong Jupiter energy coming through to close the month, and Jupiter's an aspect to the moons this month as well. So it's like, even like I was saying, like even the adaptations that we have to make, or the revisions that we have to make, or the changes that we have to make, they're likely to actually like make things even better than we thought they were to begin with somehow. I don't know. Things are just looking good generally. We are also in some very active healing energy, especially from old wounds. And the energy of Thursday, yesterday, we actually had a double Chiron activation going on. The sun was in an exact trine to Chiron, while the moon simultaneously was transiting Libra and came into an exact opposition with Chiron. This is double luminaries with the Chiron vibe at the same time. And then the moon moved on, and today on Friday will come into a conjunction, like I said earlier, you know, with the South Node. This is a release point. So Chiron, this is the wounded healer, teacher, master archetype. We also had Chiron right now is in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, who is currently in the sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, who is impacting, you know, Mercury and Venus, all of this energy right now. Like there is some type of, you know, this information that we're gaining, this perspective that we're gaining, something about the informational component of what is playing out right now, or even the expanded sense of value or worth or potential that we're recognizing maybe within us or within, you know, a certain dimension or area of our lives or of our experience somehow. Like this is somehow playing into us being able to conquer a dimension of ourselves that maybe held us back in the past, a state of victimhood, you know, or like I said, you know, some type of like unhealed trauma or wound within us that kept us maybe detached from an authentic truth, or just holding ourselves back from being able to go through a necessary state or phase of growth to align us with our true soul purpose, or to activate destiny on some level, which I might also add with the North Node currently transiting the sign of Aries, that over this next year and a half now is going to be a feature of all of our experiences on some level, being called into like sort of like this soul mission, this like feeling of like an aspect or an element of destiny being activated somehow, needing to rise to some type of challenge, enter more of a leadership era of our lives where we are coming back into a greater definition of and recognition of the true self and the true soul purpose, and finding the strength within us to move forward in that direction. Because as you guys know, as we talk about on this channel, we are currently in a transitional process, transitioning ages from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, which is calling us into an active phase of self-actualization on a collective level. And that boils down to a lot of this Chiron energy, and essentially overcoming states of victimhood to come into the greater state of self-mastery so that we can become greater creators, conscious creators of our reality and our experience moving forward into this new Aquarius energy. As above, so below, as that is the vibration that is coming through right now as we consciously awaken and ascend, okay? And the energy that is being activated when we have these strong Chiron energetic days right now is functioning in that regard towards that purpose. And with Jupiter really being sort of like the fuel behind, what's playing out right now, with Mars currently ruling the position of Chiron in the double aspect to the luminaries, the sun also in a conjunction to Mars right now, both in the sign of Sagittarius, like I said, ruled by Jupiter in the aspect to the mind and the heart, Mercury and Venus, some type of an expansion, some type of spiritual healing, all right? What this is boiling down to, which if you guys have been watching my videos this week, if you watched my December video, I've been talking about the magic present in the moments of this time, okay? There's just this sense of magic in the air, a divine intervention, spiritual awakening, and spiritual healing coming through this week. The Neptune station, all this Chiron energy, all this Jupiter energy. And we end the weekend also with a, Moon Uranus opposition as well, which is, again, this like soul awakening, emotional awakening, and realignments going on, coming through to heal with the Chiron element so active right now as well. So very active process of spiritual healing and release. This is also, I've been talking about this as well. This is a pattern breaking, cycle breaking era that we are in right now, as we are as a feature and a function of our transitional process into the age of Aquarius right now as well. So energy is actively supporting this healing process, this process of release from past versions of ourselves, or past attachments, or past states of victimhood, or past complexes in any type of a way, keeping us detached from our power, keeping us detached from our truth, our purpose, our destiny. All right, so just this very magical week, this very magical weekend. In the entire month of December, I wrote the 8th through the 10th. Like, this particular weekend to me stands out as having just like this very special vibe about it. And all month, like I said, there is this mystical presence, sort of spirit, Jupiter, higher power, really taking the reins and steering the ship towards some type of abundance and positive expansion. We just need to make sure we are not getting carried away, okay? So good luck, good fortunes, good decisions. It feels like something like the land of milk and honey over the course of this next couple of days. We are officially activating as well this Jupiter-Mercury trine that is with us throughout a good portion of this month, again, because of the retrograde going on with Mercury and also the station going on with Jupiter. So all month long, this big news, positive ideas, good conversations. This is all a theme. Now, as I've said, several times by this point, for all of the big plans and the high hopes and the excessive optimism and great blessings that we may experience at this point in time, or just the good positive vibes that we may have going on, there is likely to be, as we move forward into next week and the rest of the month, some type of reconsideration that is happening. And it's so interesting because on Friday, Friday, we actually have the Earth at 17 degrees of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is the head of a robust youth, changes into that of a mature thinker. And I do also feel like that's sort of the vibes that we have going on, like to start the month and like as we're going through this week, and then like as we move towards the Mercury retrograde and towards the end of the month, because it does feel like we're just sort of like this ball of fire and like all this enthusiasm and optimism, and almost to like a naive extent, but then it's like reality hits on some level, or like we take off the rose-colored glasses, or you know, we see something a little bit, like we look at the fine print, because that's what Jupiter energy does too. Like it's so lofty, like it's so grandiose, like it's so from the top down bird's eye view, that it has sometimes a hard time like working out the details and like the minor intricacies and like the day-to-day of how things are like really going to like function and happen, like how the gears and the mechanisms are going to turn to make that whole overall big picture come together. And so there can be a tendency to like overlook some crucial detail, or to just, you know, overlook like the true cost or something like that. So there is likely to be like that type of situation playing out. And I think it's funny that that's literally the position of the Earth, talking about the head of the robust youth, like this very enthusiastic, excited, maybe naive attitude to things, seeing things as, you know, larger than life and stuff like that, changes into that of a mature thinker. So as we go through this Mercury retrograde and Jupiter also turns direct, it's like, okay, like I see the potential. Like it's that's what it feels like to me. It's like we're seeing some type of like huge potential, and we're like, yes, yes, yes. But then like over the next couple weeks, it's like, okay, but like, what do I actually need to do? Like, what does the plan really need to be? Like, what are the logistics actually going to be in order to extract that potential in a way where the potential can be, you know, what it needs to be, like where it can actually come into true being and not just be like this vision and this hope and this potential. Like, what is the plan, okay, to make it happen? So I feel like that may be the process that this energy is kind of playing out. And like, where do I need to like pull back, or like, you know, be a little more scrupulous, or like shrewd, or like reconsider a little bit, you know what I mean? So that may be kind of the way that this energy plays out. But we may come to find that something that we've been very enthusiastic about has just been on some level maybe like overly inflated in terms of value, worth, beauty, pleasure, or something like that. Something like that. Deals may need to be renegotiated, and we may be rethinking how we want to do, structure, form, plan things, especially in terms of projects, partnerships, resources, commitments, financial agreements, goals, also like food, material possessions, just things to do with money, partnerships, resources, all of the Taurus themes with Jupiter and Venus, also with Jupiter in the sign of Taurus and in an opposition to Venus and in a trine to Mercury. Kind of maybe wanting our money back on some things also. Overall though, like I said, even this experience will somehow be for the best this month. Jupiter is so strong. Good fortune and open mind reigns supreme despite whatever conditions need to be adapted. They will be successfully adapted, and they will ultimately be better than we initially thought that they were or that they could be. And we want to harness this energy, you guys. Great for being out and about. If you got to get things done, get it done. If there's business that needs to be accomplished, do it. Having conversations, like I said, if you got to make a deal or a negotiation, if you got to ask somebody for something that maybe you've been procrastinating on or putting off, if you need to ask for a raise, you guys, or a promotion, yes, green light, golden ticket, like this is when you want to do it. If you need to like self-promote for some reason, this is when you want to do it. Again though, we're doing it with a level of tact, okay? We're doing it with a level of self-awareness and self-restraint. We're not just letting ourselves fly away like a big inflated balloon. A lot of people are going to be doing that. A lot of people are going to be like taking this almost to like a mental illness type of level. I'm talking about like extreme grandiosity, extreme narcissism, extreme egos, like on display, extreme attention seeking behavior as well. But, you know, for also This is people being very generous, like I've said, you know, very giving, Santa Claus spirit archetype, like through and through and through. Jupiter is known as the Santa Claus planet. That is an archetype that, you know, it characteristically represents. So shopping, buying gifts, you know, having good conversations as well. Gifts given and purchased or received right now will be, you know, there will be an element of joy and satisfaction, happiness that goes along with that. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, this is sort of like universal holiday spirit situation we have going on this week. Extremely creative and inspired energy. Like I said, divine inspiration in abundance, leading to positive outcomes, positive surprises. People are generally going to be doing the right thing, even if they're doing it for selfish purposes. Like, people are likely to just want to feel good about themselves, want to do the right thing, want to feel like they're the best, you know what I mean? We gotta, you know, the lower negative octaves of this energy, of course, are going to be there as well. Like I said a minute ago, way overblown, way over the top about stuff. People acting totally insane, God complex, very real. People having a hard time keeping a lid on it. Extreme inflation of ego, also extreme excess in all things, especially material things, sensory things, indulgence-based things. When we've got fixed sign opposition going on exactly between Jupiter, Venus, and Jupiter being in Venus's sign, and also Venus in the sign of Scorpio. That's also like compulsions and like obsessions, like needing to, yeah, so people are going to be very determined, I feel like, to get what they want in the energy. And it's gonna be, I mean, with all these trines playing out as well, people are going to be going after and receiving what they want. But again, after the fact, we may come to realize maybe we need to pull it back a little bit for some reason. So like unrestrained and unlimited perception of self-righteousness, definitely lots of that. Like people being very dogmatic and feeling like their like beliefs reign supreme about stuff. Pay them no mind, you guys. This is really good energy to focus on growing what we're passionate about and what we're working on, what we're nurturing, what we're trying to bring into fruition, what we're creating, you know, the things that we hold dear, the things that we value, the things that we love. There's no reason to allow like other people's issues right now to be our primary focus when there is so much magic that can be tapped like in the palm of our hands, just at our fingertips, to create the life that we want to experience. So literally, like, people that are acting crazy in this energy, I'm saying pay them no mind. Also, let's talk about some Sabians for just a second. Aside from the position of the earth, the mind of the robust youth changes into that of a mature thinker. That's a vibe this weekend. But Mercury in the trine to Jupiter at 7 degrees of Capricorn, Jupiter is currently at 7 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a veiled prophet speaks, seized by the power of a god. Like, that's some powerful symbolism going on in the regards of Mercury trining Jupiter, which is this big message. This, like, you know, Jupiter is like the higher perspective, the higher power. A very powerful message could be coming through this weekend, bringing flashes of insight, revelations, and almost like prophetic knowings or understandings about things somehow that work in our favor with all the Jupiter energy. And then also we have Venus coming to, of course, the 7 Scorpio, with Jupiter at 7 Taurus opposing Jupiter 7 Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is deep sea divers. So something about whatever we're getting into this weekend, whatever we're expanding into or is expanding in our lives, or whatever is filling us up on some level, satisfying perhaps some very deep emotional need, bringing awareness maybe to something that we've been holding within like the depths of our psyche, the depths of our soul, the depths of our emotional body, deep truths coming clear. Maybe the Jupiter energy, you know, expanding and helping to heal our heart, again, with a higher Chiron energy going on as well, for maybe some of these like deep-seated wounds or deep-seated traumas in the sign of Scorpio that have been, you know, keeping us from being able to go through the phase of growth, the expanded phase of growth that Jupiter in the sign of Taurus is represented. You know, this is a very stubborn energy too, I have to say. People could be, especially women with Venus being the energy there, could be really having their heels dug in a bit, being kind of like bullheaded or stubborn throughout the course of the weekend with the Taurus Jupiter influence. But you know, it is ultimately about also like an expansion or a discovery of the deeper layers and levels of worth and value and resource and potential from within. Jupiter is wisdom, Jupiter is truth, Jupiter is freedom. Taurus is value, resources, potential that is like primed for growth into something physically tangible and abundant and stable and secure in the physical material world. So, and the, you know, with Venus in opposition and the Chiron energy as well, the spiritual healing, this heart healing that is helping us to tap into a deeper, deep sea diver layer or dimension of our own worth, potential, value, see that, embody that. And, you know, that also being sort of a catalyst to us expanding into this new version of self, this redefinition of self, maybe expanding our mind somehow in such a way that is releasing us from an old version of ourselves, maybe that was detached from our true purpose and preventing us from going through this active phase of growth associated right now with the North Node transiting the sign of Aries and this like personal destiny activation that I was talking about earlier, this personal mission and hero's journey that we're all going through at this point in time. So, you know, expansion, freedom, truth, faith, confidence, belief, all the Jupiter vibes this weekend. If we can believe, okay, and hold to the faith while not taking things to excess this month, really anything is possible, and there are tremendous gains to be made. This energy is all about making gains right now. This is wish fulfillment energy as well, and this is also, you know, as I said, gifting energy. If you feel like you are not receiving in this energy, give, and it will come back to you tenfold throughout the course of this month. Jupiter gives and Jupiter blesses. So we give and we receive in abundance throughout the course of this month, and the magic, like I said, is in the air. That's what I have to say about the astrology, you guys. I don't normally do tarot cards on the weekend videos, but it just so happened that I was like messing around with my deck, just doing something else, not even paying attention, and I had 3 cards came out that to me are a complete reflection of the energy that at the time I had just finished writing in these notes. So I'm going to tell you guys what the tarot message that came out, even though I didn't even ask it to come out for this weekend, is saying. We've got a Page of Swords, we've got an 8 of Wands, and then we've got a 9 of Cups, which is funny because I literally was just talking about wish fulfillment energy. This is the wish fulfillment card. On the back of the deck, we have a Ace of Wands, and then underneath that, we have the World and the 9 of Pentacles. This is literally telling me, you know, we have come to the end of some type of cycle where we have been detached from feeling like, again, we had the value or the resource or the potential or the ability within to like create some form of wish fulfillment or make some type of dream come true in our external reality. This whole month of December is flavored, or is the flavor of making or helping us to translate some dream into reality, be it small or be it, you know, on a larger scale. The tarot message that came out today is talking about, to me, like this literal Mercury, Jupiter, Venus energy that we have going on right now. The Page of Swords and the 8 of Wands. This is like some new idea or fresh perspective or like fresh start at something or seeing things through new eyes somehow. But it's just this like, this robust mind, this like optimistic, youthful attitude, like bringing forth, or this new idea somehow bringing forth wish fulfillment at like a very rapid rate. The 8 of Wands is about things happening quickly. It's also about like communications coming quickly. This is communications or messages coming quickly, information that comes like fast out of nowhere, surprises that has some element of like wish fulfillment to it. So I feel like it's totally representing in the symbolic pictorial version. This is the Jupiter Mercury, because Mercury is also a youthful energy. It rules, you know, children, and it's the robust mind of the youth, okay? And then on the back of the deck also, with having the Ace of Wands behind that, the world, it's like this sudden inspiration or just this enthusiasm or this creative flow that hits us, that is literally like helping us to move on from something, end one cycle. We've completed a phase of something, and now there's a fresh energy that is literally like blowing through with this swords energy, like very quickly, that is inspiring us to move towards or to experience something that we've wanted, or some type of wish fulfillment. So more, you know, it's just a extreme validation to me of the positive inclination of the informational or conversational or relational component of things. Some type of I don't know, something should be uplifting us, you guys. And again, with the Ace of Wands, like create, write, produce, like projects, relate with other people, all this type of stuff. Very good. Let's get one more card now. Synchronicity card, God, Spirit, Universe. What do we need to know? What would be a good last piece of information, insight, advice, wisdom, guidance, assistance? What should we focus on? What should we use as a mantra as we go through the energy of this weekend? There's one. Actually, we've got two here. Change your thoughts and watch your thoughts, which is so interesting because there's such an emphasis on the thoughts this weekend with the Jupiter-Mercury trine. Mercury is the mind. Mercury is our thoughts. Jupiter is expansion. And also, you guys, we're in very strong manifestation energy right now. I understand why keeping a handle on where our mind is probably going to work for us this weekend. Okay. Change your thoughts, and it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. Isaiah 55:11. Whatever seed you plant will come back to you in its fruit. If you plant a bitter seed, you will get a bitter fruit. Sweetness will beget sweetness. Likewise, flavor your thoughts and your speech with sweetness, that you may dwell in a sweet life. Holding to your present thoughts will bring you unhappiness, which this is what is happening in this energy, whether I feel like we want to or not. This is going to be having a very positive impact on the way that our mind is working, on how our thoughts are working, and that's what the consequence will be. I feel like is just bringing these sweeter experiences with and that's like, it is like a very sweet, very rich vibe that we've got going on when we have Jupiter in the sign of Taurus opposite Venus in Scorpio. And then secondly, we have watch your thoughts. Looking diligently lest any man fail of the grace of God, Hebrews 12:15. Be diligent and watchful over your thoughts. Let God's Spirit guide you and direct you. Continue moving forward. Victory will be yours. Again, like, both of these cards I feel like are talking about, you know, having the proper perspective, holding the right mental frame, and the ability of the energy right now to reward positive thinking, open-mindedness, and ability to sort of go with the flow of things, but also not, you know, be diligent, be watchful over your thoughts, not taking things to extreme excess, and being mindful of the seeds that we're planting, but planting seeds in this energy because they're going to come back to us with sweetness right now if we follow this advice. So that's what I have to say, you guys. How I feel like energy is functioning for us this weekend. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. If you're having experiences that match up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. I really appreciate your feedback and knowing how energy is affecting you guys out there in the world. And if you want to know what I have written on this here whiteboard, I have a Facebook group linked in my description box below where I post that link to that group where you can see the image of that board. So that's what I have to say, you guys. Come back with me on Monday. We are going to be getting into another week of this astrology. We got a new moon coming up here in a minute in the sign of Sagittarius. So we're going to be talking about that next week to start our week, and a whole bunch more that we're going to have playing out, but definitely more of this Jupiter energy. So I'll be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you guys next time. Have a lovely weekend. I feel pretty sure that you will. And until next time, bye guys.